anyway, so to show the power of duplication over trading dollars for hours, if you are here because I ever shared my story, period, whether you're on my first level or my 12th or my 16th, would you please stand up? Everybody, anywhere on my. So these are a whole lot of people that their story can be the key to unlock somebody's prison, and they're making a huge difference in people's lives. That's the power of duplication, and that's how you get residual income. So I am here to talk to you about some skill. We are going to talk about, we're going to talk about listening conversations. And Jana also talked about building relationships. Building relationships and getting to know what is going on in somebody's life so that you can solve it is the difference in selling a product and having no business and having a long-term business. And having people that will keep coming back for your product or to stay on your team because of it. And so I'm going to tell you a little, well, first of all, I'm from Post, Texas, and if y'all ever tried to bait a cat, like, not like when you were a kid and you licked it because you thought that's what my sister did that one time. Anyway, so, but have you ever tried to put one in the water? Well, that was like getting me to do this business, correct, Melissa Corbin. So there are people that want to do this and they can actually excel at it, that are acting like they want no part of what you do because they don't, and that's where I was at. And so, but I come out of corporate banking with a lot of knowledge about how you really do build a relationship if you get the opportunity to truly do it, not pretend like you're doing it. And so it's a difference maker. I know some of my friends that have been in banking before, they're like, oh yeah, after you actually do it versus talk about doing it. So this is a great story that really talks about the power of a listening conversation. So my teeth have always been very unfortunate, and I smiled and talked a lot like this. Did you know I've had 7 people approach me since I talked to XLC about my teeth that said I either had mine fixed or Ziegler's going to fix mine? 7 people, the power of that story, okay? And so I always been embarrassed. Even though I worked in banking, I could not, and I had great insurance, I could not afford to fix my teeth. Ziegler fixed my teeth, okay? And so, but I went to the dentist and I had this idea of what I wanted. I knew I wanted to do Invisalign. I didn't want traditional braces because I didn't want to be, 48 with a, whatever. And I wasn't so sure that I could ever get food. I mean, yeah, not sure that could happen. Anyway, long story short, I went in and first of all, they built reports like, I know you're from Post, or you headed to work, or you off today, blah, blah, this kind of stuff. And we chatted a little bit, and then they started asking me what it was that I wanted. And I started explaining what I wanted. And they had pictures, at the orthodontist, there's all the pictures on the wall and stuff. And I said, I want that. I want that. And anyway, and so after they asked me, and I talked about what I wanted, I talked about what bothered me, may have teared up a little bit. I'm not going to today because time's precious. I did it at XLC because it's the first time I've really talked about this. And I went out of there, the product was Invisalign. What I went in there was with the problem of being humiliated over my teeth solved. They heard me, and they came back and they said, we're going to offer you a solution for this. And it is going to be way more than what you asked for, because what you're asking to do is only going to make them worse. Because not only are they not attractive, they're very crooked, so they're going to get more crooked. And when we were on one of those cruises, like in the picture, seriously, my teeth were worse than when I started, because they had to, right? So they said, in order to do this, it was going to be $10,000 more than the plan I had in mind. But it met my goal, and I said, I will sign and pay it out. I was early in Ziegler. Like, where's the contract? But I signed a contract for more than I ever dreamt on my teeth because they found out what was important to me, and then they helped me solve my problem and helped me understand that what I thought was going to work, because I was ignorant, I wasn't a dentist, was not actually going to solve my problem. That's exactly what we do, and that's the power of providing options to people. And I ain't going to fall over this. I just want y'all to know I've got a dress on. Close your eyes when I go down. Okay. So the 8 elements of a sales conversation, or a listening conversation, which is what the title is. Y'all, it's everything that we do. This is exactly what they did when I went in, and I've raved about them, and I have sent them business. I gave them more money, and I've sent them business. And so we want to discover what's going on. And if y'all were in a presentation, yeah, $3 million. This is what, because you listen to people and you meet them where they're at, you don't go, and with every head bowed and every eye closed, somebody says, hey, I got a question about your products or whatever, and you're like, oh, awesome, well, were you looking for wellness, weight loss, income, or some gut support? And they say weight loss, and you're like, oh my gosh, here's my link, and we're a 3-part system, and you blow them up with all this crap that you got out of boards. Well, stop it. It's killing your business. So we're going to talk today about discovery. And y'all heard the term, always be closing. Horrible term. No one wants to be closed, especially a 40 or 50-year-old professional female. Smell you like a rat coming at me. You're not closing it. You're going to make me mad if you're not closing it. Y'all, most people like that. They want to buy. They want solutions. They don't be sold to. A sale is about you. A solution's about them. Okay? So it's all about how you approach it. So I love to talk about being a private investigator, being a PI. That's your job. Your job is to understand so much about what's going on with them, and this is both to solve their products, and this is also to help them see the opportunity or how to build past the ground floor, right? And so you want to be a private investigator. You want to know, Lori Ulrich will say, you want to know the color of the carpet in their living room. Like, I want to know you so well that I know that what I am going to lead you through, what I'm going to ask for you to do, is on target with what your goals are, not mine. If we don't know these things, we're literally just talking to them about our hopes and dreams. Nobody will ever care more about your hopes and dreams than you do. Nobody's going to care about their hopes and dreams. And so, have y'all ever had a distributor that says they're going to do something, a partner, and they say they're going to do something and they never do anything? I got a whole bunch of them. So, you're always going to have those. But the better you get at this, it is easier to recruit somebody to buy your $550 business bundle if it's okay, than you making a pitch to them. But you got to know some things. So I like the ABC of always be curious. Okay? So that's what we want to do. We want to always be curious. And the best way, you know what, have y'all ever gotten an objection? Anybody? Okay. The reason you get objections is because the conversation before the solve was not strong enough. We didn't really seek to understand. So now, if I catch up, Richard, I don't think that's your role. Tracy, okay. It's always horrible to say. So here I've asked Tracy questions, and if I understand what's going on with Tracy, and then I come back and I say, this is the bundle, this is the kit, this is the whatever situation, or from the business, and these are the first 4 things we're going to do in order to get you. It's different when I can talk about her goals versus this is the kit, and here's the 4 steps. She's not connected to development person care system. So there's a couple of handouts because Melissa's is going to flow right after mine. So you've got 2 handouts, and there's a few notes on here, but there's going to be several screens of several different questions. The thing about the questions is this is not meant to be a flow chart. Relationships are not made with flow charts. Relationships are also not built with scripts. But if you can get so good at just always being curious and seeking to understand, then you can really make it go. The flow is still the same. I've got to know before I can solve. I've got to solve before I can ask you for the next step, right? Anyway, so just whatever the question is, you always want to start with your best open-ended question. And that can be like what prompted you to reach out at this point in time, because lots of times we're talking to people who talk to you several times. What's causing you to say yes at this time? Maybe I reached out and I said, hey Tracy, I would love for you to look at my business opportunity, whatever it is. And the first thing I want to know is, Tracy, why did you say yes to this call today? That's what I want to know. I don't want to start telling you anything. I want to know, I asked you if you would hear me out after we went to high school and all this kind of stuff, and I want to talk to you about joining a world-class product, badass team, all the things, but I need to know why you said yes. I know why I asked you. I need to know why you said yes, Jana called me at 3 o'clock. That is the best question that I can ask you, right? So you want to do that when somebody, maybe kicks their head out from your social media and says, okay, I need some of those products. I need to know why, and then I can go from there. And so these are just some different questions. I call it peeling the onion because that's what I always called it. And it's where I just keep asking questions. These are in no particular order. And a lot of them will work for multiple things. So what are you looking to accomplish? Will that work for wellness and for wealth? What do you need to accomplish? What change or impact would this be on your life? Because now you've told me, I need to make $500 a month, I need to make $1,000 a month, I need to lose 50 pounds, whatever. What impact will it have on your life, Tracy, if we can get you $10,000 a month before the end of the year? Absolutely. So what's the biggest thing that's concerning you about the wedding? Okay, for sure. Why? Yeah. So have you already bought a dinner dress that you're going to fit into, or are we holding on? Exactly. So I need to know all these things, because if I know, and I really know, and I'm remembering, and I'm having a conversation, that's why there's no perfect order, right? These are just thoughts and ideas. One of my favorite questions from all times is what keeps you up at night, especially when you're talking about income. And I can tell you, especially if you're the mom at the wedding that feels uncomfortable in her skin, or you're the mom that goes to the playground and you can't play with your kids because you're either sick or overweight, it's keeping you up at night. If you are struggling to pay your bills, it's why you need to lose 70 pounds. I was in therapy for 29 years. I promise you, and I can do the stats in this room, and y'all can lay your heads down. I can tell you what the average credit card debt is in this room. I can tell you how many of you have absolutely not a dime for retirement. I can tell you how many of you are underinsured because you can't afford the right amount of risk management, and you can't outrun risk management. And I will not be wrong. So why on God's green earth do we not tell people about Singular? I paid off every credit card that I never could have you take. And you would never ever dream that I needed money, and I was almost paralyzed in my debt. So we need to know these things. What are your biggest struggles? More questions. We're not going to go through all of them. You also want to know the great things. So if somebody's doing something, you want to know, what do you feel like is working for you right now in that? Because maybe somebody's talking about, like, I'm working out, or I started eating right, or we're doing this snowball method with my income, and I feel like we're making a little bit of ground, but we're making like $30 ground a month. And in order for me to pay for the wedding in 5 years, we have to get rid of all of it. So I know we're making bite-sized moves, but we're not making big moves. I need it gone because it's keeping me up at night. So it's different things, and this is one of my favorite ones. So because you've got this wedding that you're not sure how you're going to pay for, what do you have to say no to that you want to say yes to? Well, I know when I couldn't pay for my daughter's wedding, we didn't have a videographer. You think I regret that? Badly. What would you want to cover today? So maybe we've chatted a couple of times, or we get on the phone and maybe we've been bantering back and forth a little bit. I want to respect your time. I have to respect mine. What's the biggest thing you need to know today to make a decision? What is it that I've talked about, or what is it that I've not shared with you, Tracy, that when you think about your desire to have a videographer and look really good in the dress when they're doing the video, what have I not told you that you need to make this decision? You've got to keep seeking to understand. This is actually real stuff. So there's several different things. Like I said, y'all can make a picture, and then you see there's a few that actually do talk about wellness. If you think about it, so many are multi-interchangeable, so it doesn't matter what the situation is. But lots of times when it comes to the weight loss, so 8 years ago, the cat in the bag, I had no desire. She talks about a flicker of an eye. So if you were to say, Jana, would you like to join my network marketing company? I would have said, why don't you get a real job like me? I'm talking the biggest, fluffiest kitten you've ever tried to make. True story. So there's different things that you can ask about things, but like the weight loss, I remember when I posted my picture in what was, I thought was a private group, it wasn't a public party, and all these people, I didn't socialize a lot. I had no self-esteem. I stood at high school graduation, literally unable to hear and understand. Two of my classmates are actually here, one that was still there, and you couldn't even understand what I was saying. I was stuttering and stammering so badly. Can y'all even imagine that? I had absolutely no confidence. I am a completely different person because of this company and these amazing humans that you get the opportunity to build a life with. It could change your everything. So do you really ask people, like, what is it that you're missing in your life? You have no idea the types of things they may be missing. So back to so people said, they didn't just say, I need to lose 50 pounds. They said, well, I cry in the closet. I tell my friends I can't go out. That's, if you do not understand, somebody that needs to lose 100 pounds or somebody that needs to make $100,000, if they will not tell you why, they are not going to get Quick Start, and they're probably not going to make it 20 pounds. They're not connected. So you've got to be sure that people understand that. So what do you do with that information? Summarize. I said these are listening conversations. If I've been asking all these questions, and at no point in time I said, I want to be sure we're on the same page, Tracy. You talked about the wedding. You told me when it was, and we didn't do all this, but you didn't tell me where it was, so forth and so on. You've got a gold dress. I know what you've done so far, blah, 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 whatever, and you're very concerned about the videographer. Before I move into the things that are going to help you solve that, was there anything I misunderstood? Was there anything that I missed? You know, you want to be sure they're on the same page. So then, when I go, so the way that you summarize is all along, the goal is to go, I'm tracking you, I'm hearing you, you're either face-to-face or whatever. It's like, just know that I need to know you're listening if I can't see you. You're not over there like on Facebook or you're on TikTok and I'm just talking, right? Summarizing, going back and restating so that they know that you heard. And then empathy. Like, just be empathetic to what's going on. You know, and people talk a lot about feel, felt, found, but it's literally just going, I'm hearing you, Tracy, and I can see that you want to do something different, and I applaud you for raising your hand. Just see that. That's literally all it is. And so, if you can do, then that's basically what it is. So that helps you know that we're on the same page. Do you think at this point in time I've earned the right to tell her what I think she should do? Not to ask her. I'm not going to ask her what she wants to buy. I'm not going to ask her whether she wants to be a customer or partner. I have now understood her. I have shown her attention that she deserved. I now have earned the right to make a suggestion. And that is called matching. And Melissa's going to go into this, so I'm not going to say much about it, but that's what, not only right now in this moment while I'm closing the sale, no, I'm bringing a customer into my organization so that she can be successful. I'm bringing a partner into my organization. It's where I'm able to go back because I heard all these things. We're going to start you with the advanced kit. And this is why, and I know we talked about this earlier, it's not about the product, it's about the problem. And if I can go back and say, Tracy, this is why I'm saying this kit. And there are lots of times I say, I would suggest either one of the three. With what you said, I think you would do great on one. It just depends on if you want to attack this, if you want to attack this. They don't seem to be a big burden to you. And I bought a basic weight loss kit. And there were some things I was struggling with, migraines and allergies, that if I had started up with a big kit, I might would have had a better 30 days. You're going to do fine on any one of the three because I can tell you why. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to have I will be able to say, because of that, this is why we need to be a partner. We're going to grab the $49.95 link and we're going to go immediately. And because I've had the opportunity to help thousands of people just like you, we're going to do it quick. And if we can't get it done, I'll give you $49 back. So you've got to know them. Otherwise, your suggestion, whether you suggest 2 products or a kit, has nothing to do with it. And they're going to push back on you, and they're going to push back on you, and they're going to push back on you. Because they literally have no connection to what you're saying. Now, at this point in time, if they go, I can't afford that, that's not an objection. You're having a sincere conversation with somebody that wants to join you, that is like me, who literally didn't have $550. Right? So now you've got some place that you go, okay, so let's figure it out, and they can hear you because you're in a listening conversation, not in a sales meeting. Make sense? So I love everything about this, and one of the biggest things that I can tell you is, as my time is up, people are desperate to be seen. They are absolutely desperate to be seen, and it doesn't matter what your perception of their confidence is. You are surrounded by people that you think they make good money, you think they got it going on, you think whatever the worst thing that you can do is to assume with anything. And when you don't do this, you are literally just praise spray. It's like, here's my weight. Oh my gosh, I should buy something. That is not going to build your income. And then, when that person is unsure, or that person is not working on their first $1,000, so that they can get the videographer, which is actually $5,000, so they need to work on that, or $10,000, it's not $1,000. Now, when you talk with them, you're able to be more like, okay, Tracy, because all you can do is match effort. People spend a lot of time trying to help somebody that just wants to be a customer with a link be a builder, and somebody wants to be a builder, slowing them down by treating them the same way. So some of the best questions you can ask is, one, if you're going to be a partner, how much do you need to make, and by when? Is there a certain goal? Why? If I know there's a wedding, I wish I had a video. Two, how much time are you willing to spend a week? I know Jana talked about 10 hours earlier. There were days I literally only had 15 minutes. I was working from 7 to 11, 7 in the morning to 11 at night in leadership where, like, it'd be like me up here right now, I'm on my phone. Like, that's not gonna work, right? And then if I see something that is helping or hindering your business, are you okay if I share it with you? Because paying for the videographer is heavy on your heart. It's led you to eating a little bit, so that dress is not fitting now. And I want to be absolutely sure that we can get you where you're going. And so, are you okay with basically being coachable? Because if you're not, I cannot get you where you said. That's where you find out I'm going to treat you like a runner, or I'm going to go, hey, Tracy, anybody ask? Drop in your link, you need some help working on it. So, you're not exhausted, and I'm not exhausted. And he's not exhausted because he was waiting for me to help him build a business, but I was too busy treating you like you're a builder and you're just a customer with a link. Does that make sense? We need all of them. We need customers with links, and we need people that want to build legacy income. We're not asking enough questions, so we're talking to. Does that make sense? It is absolutely crucial that you find that up front. So that is all I have, and this is